Salutations everybody, it is Matty here today with a Creation Club news update. A lot of information regarding the future of Creation Club has popped out in the past 24 hours, and the future may not be as bleak as what we once thought. There have been numerous moves by Bethesda and discussions within the community that has shown that there can possibly be a future to this system with a lot of work. For starters, Bethesda tossed up a huge discount on items in the Creation Club, a couple of more free ones as well, and I feel bad for like the 5 people who bought something from this program. But regardless, it's good to see these items at the proper price point. Like I said with the launch of this, with my initial impressions of Creation Club, that this was a system that everything was so overpriced for, and that it would make more sense where if there was a bigger Creation Club mod that I paid, for example, $15 worth of Creation Club credits, and I'd have some leftover credits to pick up the items that are now at an appropriate price point. We'll see if it's permanent, but right now you can actually get Morgan U's spacesuit as well as the horse armor for free. So hopefully Bethesda's listening on the price point of things, because that's one of my biggest issues with it. But now let's talk about the future content. That's really what's going to make or break this system. And a lot of us have decided we're not supporting this system unless we see some quests and unless we see some new areas to explore, because that's what we want. We're not going to pay an absurd price for these tiny pieces of armor and weapons that don't change the gameplay either. Now, if you recall, when we were initially discovering everything about the Creation Club, one of the biggest worries was the 4,000 record limit, which people thought would be a restriction on the mods created in Creation Club, where we couldn't expect anything bigger than what we saw. So the community manager for the Bethesda Net forums came out and explained exactly what the 4,000 record limit is, saying it is only a restriction on ESL files. If Creation Club has something that requires more, it would be released in one of the other file formats. So a lot of people were confused about what the ESL files were, what the point of them was. A lot of us, including myself, were assuming that these were read-only files so that people couldn't copy the file and then upload it on Bethesda Net for free. But at least we can breathe a sigh of relief knowing that there can be possibly bigger content here. I still think Bethesda should have launched with more quest mods or something along those lines. I still think this is a rush system, but at least we know that hopefully down the line we might see something bigger than a piece of armor. The same community content manager also updated the frequently asked questions section for Bethesda's Creation Club with 2 really important things to point out. Number 1 is, seems like there will only be small things in Creation Club. Is the content limited to the new ESL format? And he says a variety of content is currently being worked on for Creation Club. Larger pieces may be released as an ESM like other official plugins. The ESL format is streamlined for content that is relatively contained or primarily reliant on scripts. So there can be bigger content in Creation Club, and it seems like there will be, given the answer to the next question, which is, we wouldn't mind paying if the content was better. What can we expect and when? And I'm surprised at Bethesda's own self-awareness here. Anyway, this is just the start for both games. We have a lot of content in the works that we're really excited about. Right now, we're constrained internally with finalizing the content, but our hope is to have new stuff every month. Okay, before I toss any positivity in the direction of the future, this potential future of this system, I want to say this, Bethesda, no one was rushing you to get this garbage system out to players. We wanted to know where it was because of the fact that you promised it coming out in the summer, but if you delayed it, I don't think anyone would be complaining, and I don't think you would have had to update the frequently asked questions section with stuff that should have been a shoo-in with your system right off the get-go. I think this could have been an excellent system right from the start if they provided the proper content with the right answers for the consumers. And I'm going to be honest and say this process is about to repeat. Whenever Creation Club drops for Skyrim, we're going to see the same thing. We're going to see mud crab armor, all this bull crap that no one gives a damn about, and it's going to spark up more of the community being pissed off. Now, I know Bethesda's a patient company, but they're literally asking for trouble here. So I hope that maybe Skyrim launches with some type of quest, but you know, just like I said with Fallout 4, I'm not crossing my fingers because Bethesda's saying they're constrained internally, and I do believe they're working to get content out every single month, but don't rush it because you're asking us for money and you should probably be making sure that it's worth our money. For the future of Creation Club, if this information is to be believed by Bethesda, then there seems to be a future to this system after all, especially when my boy MXR tweeted saying next Creation Club mod is a Train Wiz quest mod. There just may be hope for Creation Club yet, and he's really deep in the modding community, so I'm sure he heard from someone. I'm not saying this is a fact or anything, but I don't think he put it publicly out there if it wasn't true. And for those who don't know Train Wiz, he's created a bulk of exquisite mods for many of Bethesda's games, so seeing that he's creating a quest mod is pretty awesome. So at the end of this news update, if we take what Bethesda has said in their frequently asked questions section to heart, We now know that there isn't that big record limit on mods and that they can be bigger. And Bethesda has a lot of content in the works that they are excited about, but there is a big difference between what they're excited about and what we're excited about. But hopefully it's bigger content if we're going to take MXR's tweet into consideration. So I just wanted to at least put some optimism out there. I'm not saying this is going to be the savior of the system itself, but at least we can maybe cross our fingers and hope that we'll see something come out of this system worthwhile. And when these quest mods drop, hopefully they are at an appropriate price. We'll see with due time if Bethesda is going to dig themselves deeper or get out of the hole itself. I'd love to hear your thoughts on this in the comments down below, so fire away, people. Other than that, follow me on Twitter, like me on Facebook. Those links are in the description down below, along with my Patreon. Do consider supporting that as it fuels all the content we create here. Stay sexy, stay active. I love you all. Peace.